Alright, started streaming. We should be live in 3, 2, 1 or so. It actually says we've been live for 5 seconds already. Hello, comrades, and welcome to episode number 269, or live episode number 12, of the Terminus podcast. I'm your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. My pronouns are he and him, and I have been playing too much Fallout lately. Go down the list. TJ.
Hello, my name is TJ. My pronouns are they, them, and she, her, and I am happy to be here.
Happy. You really sound it. You're really selling it.
I'm
Uh,
trying.
Kaiserin.
And I am Kaiserin. You can call me Kaiserin or Victoria or whatever. Pronouns are she, her. Yeah, I'm here.
Welcome to here.
I'm happy to be here, but I'm here.
We're all happy to be here. We all are seemingly equivalently happy to be here, which
Thrilled. You could
sound
say thrilled.
yeah, it sounds like it isn't saying much, but that's okay. We get another podcast. We're starting the closest to on time I think we've started one of these shows. So I guess the solution to starting late is to instead be really happy to be here. Um, we have 2 weeks worth of railroad news, but before we get going with that, of course, I need to do our warm up, which is the Class 1 Mantle of Responsibility. We don't actually have anything crazy exciting, no explosions or fire or much like that.
Well, Ellis, there was that propane train that wrecked, if I was reading correctly.
Oh, which Class 1 was that? Or which railroad was that?
It was... Oh, that was New England Central.
Oh, okay,
Sorry.
then we'll get to that. In fact, that is going to be the second thing I talk about. The first thing I'm going to talk about in this section is, of course, dramatic irony, or not dramatic irony. I suppose this is definitionally not dramatic irony. It's the regular kind of irony, which is that, actually, no, this isn't really irony. It's coincidence. It's one of those things that people would love to call irony. Auto train hit a car. On Nash Street in wherever this is, Wilson. It isn't actually clear where this happened, but the Amtrak auto train hit a car. This was back on February 3rd, so this is the earliest one that we have. And boy, there is a great pan over here where you can see just how long the auto train is. It is a tremendously long train. And if you want to see that, there's a link to it in our cargoes, which the link to that is in the description of this podcast episode. So check that out.
If you... jump scare.
Oh, you're not supposed to do that. What's up?
Does this mean Amtrak counts with the Class 1?
No, it's just I'm doing the non-class ones first because they happened before all the other ones.
Okay.
Yeah, no, sorry. We don't have any huge paradigm shifts going on in the mantle right now.
Yeah, get him out of here.
The second one, I didn't do it. The second one is the New England Central derailment, as was mentioned. This was on the 6th. Several cars carrying liquid propane, although it doesn't seem like they spilled at all.
I don't know. Look at the picture in Terminus News. Kind of looks like one of them's kind of crumpled. The one that's on its side. If I can find the link again.
There's
the one.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the one that's crumpled on its side off its trucks and whatever, and then there's one in front of it. I'm talking about the news screenshot. I'll paste it in the the thread.
Yeah, throw it in the public
so we
thread.
Can.
Amtrak doesn't count as the Class 1 for the mantle. I guess I'm not sure if they are legally a Class 1 in terms of like by the rules. But you know, I don't know. It doesn't say. It doesn't say there was. There was no. Sorry, none of the propane cars leaked. but there was a leak
Uh,
from a car full of kitchen grease.
which is probably that one on its side up there. You know, that is parallel with the camera.
Mm-hmm.
You see the back end of it. That's probably the one that leaked then. So I had assumed that the cars in the picture were the propane cars.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they were all together in the consist. So it was a handful of cars out of a 43 car train that sort of just tipped over into the river, and they had a hell of a time getting them out because it was a difficult place for road access, and nobody ever cleans up a train wreck with a train anymore. So,
The
we've got
lost art.
yeah,
It's like that like form of brick making or whatever that they can't do anymore.
it's like what was it, Greek fire? Greek fire, but it's cleaning up
Well,
uh, a rail
Greek
disaster with a
Greek
train.
fire is Greek fire is just uh like ancient napalm with copper dust in it. Uh,
And it probably
Still don't
looks
know how
cool
they
as
made
hell.
it. Yeah, it burned green on top of the water, and it stuck to everything. But this reminds me sort of a couple years ago, the Meridian Southern Railroad, which is the one that's in Meridian, Mississippi, goes down to Waynesboro, Mississippi, had a wreck very similar to this, and they had to build a whole dang road to get out there to put the thing back on the track.
Yeah, there's a lot of earth moving that you can do in a short span of time to get some heavy equipment out there. It reminds me of when they were pulling the electric locomotives out of like the swamp in New York to get them out of there to transport them to the Danbury Railway Museum, the New York Central S motor and T motor. Um, they had to they had to basically create a way to get heavy equipment in there to disassemble them, load them on trucks, and get them out. Um, the only thing that made that kind of convenient is the reason they had to move is because they were going to develop that site, and so they were already making road access as part of the development. I wonder whatever happened to that place. I should check on it. I wonder if there's any difference on a map. I guess I'll look at it later.
Was that the same place that had all the GG1s?
No, that's Cooperstown Junction, I think, something like that. It's in upstate New York ish, if I remember right. I know what you're talking about though. They had two or three GG1s just out there in the woods.
Yeah.
So let's do the actual class runs really quick. We had NS derailing on Horseshoe Curve, which you can check that one off your bingo card. Oh, sorry, just near Horseshoe Curve. There were, holy cow, 65 cars involved on a manifest freight from Conway Yard near Pittsburgh to Enola Yard near Harrisburg. Occurred at about 1 a.m. Uh, all cars remained upright, which is fascinating. Um, there was no release of hazardous material, so there was no evacuation, there was no fire, there was no anything. Of course, the Pennsylvania was canceled as just because somebody sneezed, so they canceled the Pennsylvanian. And then the following day, a CSX train in West Virginia had a slow speed collision with a state trooper. Everyone was okay. The collision occurred after 5 p.m. Something, something, something. I mean, again, I've been spending a lot of time in Fallout, so I've been looking at West Virginian infrastructure quite a lot, and I can see why these things might happen very often. There are no crossing gates or lights. There are pedestrian warning strips in front of the rails. Um, it's really fascinating the grasp on infrastructure that games have, what they do right and what they don't do right.
Look,
Anyway,
if you said Fallout, and I assumed you meant a good Fallout game. No,
I
you've been
did
playing
mean a good
Fallout
Fallout
76.
game.
It's
76
the
is a
worst one.
blast. I love
It's
76.
worse. It's worse than Fallout Tactics for me.
I enjoy it because I get to do it with friends, and it's got a hell of a lot more stuff than it did when it released, but I've been playing it since release. Fallout 76 is, honestly, I can't recommend it enough, and it's been on sale for like $5 a couple of times in the last couple months, and it's got all the hallmarks of a Fallout game, and you get to play with your friends. So I stand 76. I recognize the issues with 76, but I don't think it's any more of a disappointment these days than say Fallout 4, and Fallout 4 is all right. All right. We also had, so that was the 6th and the 7th. That was Norfolk Southern and CSX.
The what?
And shut up. Uh, on the 15th, so today. No, that was yesterday. How is it today? Oh, it got updated today. Whatever. So we're, the 14th, on Valentine's Day, a BNSF train uh collided with a pedestrian. Oh, I wanted to make a joke about Valentine's Day and kissing or something, but there was uh this is you know, not great. So, fatal
It
collision
was a
involving a train and a
very big and
pedestrian.
dangerous kiss that happened.
Can you stop? Either you're here or you're not here. If you want to interject, put your hand up. I'll let you in like a normal person. I can't. This is why I can't trust people. Okay, that's the mantle. CPKC remains the holder
I think it's his show.
of the mantle. If you know of a train derailment that has happened recently, you can join our Discord and drop it in the Terminus news section, and we will cover it week over week. Now we can move on to the meat of the show. We can take callers from the audience. If you would like to join us right now, you can jump on our Discord at theironhorseman.com/Discord, and you can listen in. If you have a rank, you can jump in at any time. So, what have you two been doing? Have you been doing anything railroad related in the past? I mean, it's been 2 weeks since our last show. I don't remember why I wasn't here last week.
The Big E.
No, that was 3 weeks ago.
It was?
Yeah, we did take the Big E week off, and then last episode we talked about it. Oh no, sorry. We were here last week, weren't we?
I was gonna say, I thought we were here last week because we watched the Woodside camp.
That's right. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. That's right. Last week we were talking a lot about the Big E.
Alice, you and I are here every week.
We're here every week. I know. I appreciate it. It's like old times. It's like episode 12 instead of episode 269.
I know. This is crazy. It's come full circle.
I've
done a thing.
What have you done?
Hashtag I did a thing.
Well, I was given a model train that is probably the worst and one of the coolest things that I own. Now, it is a Pimco locomotive.
Kimco?
Yeah, have you ever heard of Pimco before?
Oh, Pimco.
Pimco?
No, not Pimp.
Yeah, Pimco.
The Pimco locomotive works?
No, well, Pimco was this company in the 80s that I guess I don't even know the backstory behind them. They pretty much made knockoff Tinder Drive versions of IHC locomotives.
Okay.
And the one that I've got sitting up on my desk right now, or not my desk, but my dresser, and if I move my phone to take a picture of it, I will lose all signal.
You're trying.
Because it's raining outside. But it's a Tinder Drive 482.
Mm-hmm.
Pennsylvania Railroad with a Vanderbilt tender.
No.
I think I posted a picture of it in Real Model Railroading, Ellis, if you want to see it. It's somewhere in there.
I don't think I do. No, but, I did see you talking about that. I'm gonna go and forward that to the public thread so that everyone can see it, and then I'll throw it up on screen as well. But this thing is cursed. What is it supposed to be? Like, not. What was the prototype?
What was it before that? The prototype was, I think it was either B&O or C&O.
Okay.
Because this thing, the original model, and I have the IHC version of this model, has flying air pumps on the front, and that has to be C&O or B&O. I don't know of any other railroad that had mountains with Vanderbilt tenders and flying air pumps on the front.
No, that sounds like a CNO thing. Yeah, that sounds like a CNO thing.
But
Because I was gonna say flying air pumps on the front. I think the Grand did that.
well, my the one that I have that's IHC that has the motor, in the locomotive itself is also very cursed. Just imagine this, but in Crescent Limited green.
Oh God, why does everything have to be painted green? Why?
Because they can't understand that Southern had more paint scheme than Crescent Limited. Of course, I will say Crescent Limited is a very cool looking paint scheme. That two-tone green goes good. But also, it's a very interesting thought about uh, the Crescent Limited paint scheme is that most diesel locomotives that you see painted in the Southern green paint scheme,
Mm-hmm.
those aren't Crescent Limited like people say they are. Those are Tennessean because the
Huh.
Tennessean had gold in it. The Crescent Limited didn't.
Oh, the more you know. And you know what? Uh, to diverge from this to some actual piece of news, we weren't here last week because last weekend was the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's why.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
that's right. And we should remember this, TJ, because our organization for whom we volunteer lost the Super Bowl bet that they made with the Mount Rainier Scenic. So the WWF and the Mount Rainier Scenic had this like pre-planned uh, little meme war.
We had a totally not scripted
Yeah,
feud on the internet.
yeah. Uh, and
It
what makes
actually got some people.
I know it was so funny. I saw that and I was like, I honestly I was entertained whether it was scripted or not.
I was very
Uh,
entertained. So I think rare museums need more whimsy in their life.
I absolutely agree. Uh,
But anyway, as I was saying, this Pimco thing, uh, I believe, and this is just conjecture based on what I've heard, that these things were manufactured using IHC, AHM, or Mahano molding or whatever, because on the bottom it says Pimco, but it also says made in Slovenia, which means it was Mahano. But these were not made in Slovenia.
mhm.
These things were made in Brazil. I know they were made in Brazil, but I don't know if they were made for sale in Brazil.
They are
I
coming
assume
from
they
Brazil.
were because they were very limited, in sales in the United States, and that's one of the reasons their company went under. But they took and simplified the IHC design instead of saying like, "Oh, hey, let's just take the IHC or the AHM, the Mahano design or whatever. It's the same thing. Let's make it simpler and put a pancake motor in the tender, and so it shares parts with our diesel locomotive that they were making, which was an Alco.
Hmm.
So I don't really know the backstory behind these things, but they're very hard to find. The 260 is easier to find than the 482. The 260 is very weird because it is effectively like a Tyco Chattanooga repower.
Hmm.
It has a diesel locomotive chassis stuck in the tender body,
That's
but
kind of funny.
the tender trucks don't rotate; they're rigidly fixed.
What?
That's
Yeah,
cursed.
That's
yeah, it is
how does it
cursed,
dry?
but
That's not a good
it
idea.
pushes it. It pushes it, and they work perfectly fine. They're just because it's a pancake motor. They're just crap. They look fine. They run okay until the pancake motor breaks. Then it's broke forever. It's like the split axle drivers in a Bachmann locomotive from the 80s.
Yeah,
Once that gear splits, it ain't running no more.
if somebody should invent like a direct upgrade to the pancake motor and call it a waffle motor. Uh, are you anti pancake pro waffle?
Oh, they already do technically have an upgraded version of the pancake motor. It's those little powered trucks you can buy from like Tenshoto or whatever. That's effectively a modern pancake motor. It's a flat motor stuck in a truck.
Hmm.
So they already exist, but I think we should change the name of all of them to waffle motors, or at
Good.
least waffle iron.
Uh-oh.
I found an image that. Sorry, I was not expecting to laugh this hard at this. Hold on.
All right. Well, see, I was gonna, TJ, I just wanted to ask you, waffles or pancakes?
Depends on how much syrup and butter you have.
Mm. No, I mean that's fair. You want more for the waffle, right?
Yeah, you want to be able to fill up the cups.
Yeah.
Also, in case anybody wants a Plymouth Prowler from an interesting location in Massachusetts.
What?
It's only $26,000. I posted it in the public thread. I don't understand.
Okay. Why
I
is it? What?
don't know how to.
All right. Well, I guess I gotta put this up. This is not train related at all. Here we are.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to say this. But the building in the background, except for the face, looks suspiciously Source Engine.
You know what? Yeah, that's a
Actually,
good.
the entire background looks Source Engine.
Yeah, the background isn't real. They dropped this thing in the Gary spot. All right. Well, anyway, that's our car talk.
It
Diversion.
does look like something you'd make in Gmod though.
I did want to finish up the. That's true. I did want to finish up the Super Bowl bet thing, because the loser, which is us, will have to display the winning team's flags on a locomotive for a full day of operation. I don't know if we've done that yet. TJ, we're probably going up. I'm pretty sure we're going up next Saturday. I wonder if they're gonna do it then. If they haven't done it yet. If they do, I'll definitely have to take some pictures of whichever of our locomotives.
If they fly the flags, I'm gonna be so annoyed.
TJ, you can't post that and expect me not to react to it.
I farted in my wallet. Now I have gas money.
Well, okay, all right. I'm not putting that on the screen. We need to lock in everyone. We're trying to make a podcast here. I'm trying to steer things. We need to get TJ's attention. TJ.
Yes, I know. I'm saying I don't understand.
Have you seen this map?
What? Yes, and I'm very annoyed about it.
Oh, okay, all right. Let's get this on the screen so we can hear you being annoyed about it because I want to know. I want to know what
I'm
the
annoyed about it.
is.
Okay, so basically from Wilson. So Wilson is where I got off the train when I went down to
Okay,
North
well, hold
Carolina.
on. Let's preface this a little bit. Because I don't even have it on the screen yet. But it's a map of North Carolina. It is a map of like proposed North Carolina train services. You've got the existing services in blue, which is the Floridian Silver Star or Silver Meteor, whichever one of those is surviving. The Crescent, which is the one over on the western side, right? And then the Palmetto, right, which is the one that goes across.
Yeah, it goes down and across, I think.
Okay. And
or maybe that's the Carolinian that goes down and across. I don't remember. Because there's one that kind of crisscrosses through North Carolina, and there's one that just kind of goes, and then the Palmetto, I believe, is the one that goes to Atlanta.
Okay. No, I think the Crescent goes to Atlanta.
Yeah, the Crescent does go to Atlanta. It goes to Atlanta, then Birmingham, then Meridian, and
that it goes that way. It goes to New Orleans. I don't think the Palmetto makes it that far south. But yeah,
no,
so
it goes to Savannah. It goes to Savannah.
Okay.
I knew it made it to Georgia, but I didn't know how far.
And then they've got green for awards awarded. I guess that's going to be studies that they're going to do, and then the gold is a proposed service along the S line between Richmond and Raleigh. So why does this bother you so much?
Okay, so this bothers me because I have a very personal need to have a train from uh, the north-south services to the coast of North Carolina.
Hmm.
Um, so if you look at Goldsboro,
Yeah.
how there's just like how it just juts down all of a sudden to
Yeah,
Wilmington.
it wants to go that way.
So if you want to go straight from Goldsboro, it will take you down the NS line to New Bern,
Oh,
and
I
from New
see.
Bern, it will go down to Havelock, and then from Havelock, it'll go to Morehead City, where there's a beach, where it's a giant beach tourist community.
Hmm.
And imagine if you could have a direct train to get there, because currently you have to get off in Wilson, North Carolina, and then drive to New Bern.
Hmm.
And it's like an hour and a half drive. Uh, where like while the train is basically like dead straight shot to
So it's interesting because the
and
connection.
the rails are still active too is like the other thing. Like they
Yeah, I was
still
gonna
use.
say.
I mean, they still the rail line to Wilmington is also. Oh wait,
No,
no, it
it's
looks like
not.
the line to Wilmington is not fully active. It goes like most of the way there and then stops.
Yeah, it stops
Um,
in
the
Wallace.
the other thing that's interesting is that the New Bern train station and the Morehead City train station are bus stops now. And
Multimodal.
guess what bus serves them?
Uh, Greyhound. I don't know.
The Amtrak Thruway Connecting Bus.
Oh, how convenient.
So it's literally train stations along an active rail line that are served by a bus, and the bus takes you to Wilson.
So this is interesting because this is largely related to the NC by Train project, um, and a study
Which
released.
is which is why it makes it most confusing to me, is because that's like one of your big tourist destinations. Like, hello?
That's true. Uh, but this is it. It seems like they're angling towards this S line thing between Richmond and Raleigh. Now, does Richmond currently have? Isn't Richmond one of the ends of the various uh, Northeast Corridor services? Or well, no, some of them pass through Richmond, or all of them pass through Richmond. The ones that go south far enough, right?
Yeah, they go to Newport News.
Oh, okay,
No,
yeah,
I think there are some that terminate in Richmond though.
okay. Because see, this is interesting because the S line
There's
also
also
is
there's
not
also
connected.
yeah, I was gonna say sorry to interrupt, but there's also two stations in Richmond.
That's true. It's a little confusing. I don't know
Because the
which is this.
one of the trains I was on stopped at a Richmond station, and they were like talking about how it wasn't the Richmond station something or other.
Yeah, there's Staples Mill and then there's Main Street. Uh, and I don't know if trains always stop at both.
I
Uh,
think different trains stop in different.
one
Well,
comes after the other as you come south.
Are they? I thought they were
it,
disconnected.
No, you can go to one and then go to the other.
Oh, I see.
I would say that that's probably, I don't know anything about Richmond other than history stuff, but that sounds more like there were two towns there, Richmond proper, and then there was another smaller town up the railroad, and then as Richmond expanded, it kind of absorbed the smaller town, and now you have two
See,
stations,
Hmm.
and one
my
of them's a local stop, and the other one's the main hub.
One of them's
It's
my
kind of
outside
my
of town.
yeah, my theory was that two different railroads wanted to go into Richmond, and one of them could not get all the way there.
POV Merger Mania.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm
because there's also like if you look, there's like two different ways to get through Richmond. One of them goes downtown, and one of them goes like around the outside, kind of.
yeah. Now this is just an
Yeah,
interesting
that's
map because
probably two
the
different.
just to go back to the map for a minute. There's a bunch of proposals on here which are disconnected lines, which is interesting considering they have so many lines that are not disconnected that they could add service on. Although, all things considered, North Carolina is reasonably well covered when it comes to train services.
I mean, I like
It,
I
it,
I like their idea of just like, oh, the state's just going to sponsor all this stuff and Amtrak's going to run it.
Yeah.
They're doing the
it,
main
it,
thing, but like in a much bigger scale.
it ain't Mississippi or Alabama. I think we only have one train in both states.
Well, you've got two now, right? You've got
Oh yeah,
the Crescent and the
the
Mardi
Mardi
Gras.
Gras.
Um,
Although I will say, I also love the scheme that they have for the state-supported North Carolina stuff.
yes, it's a
I love
good
that
looking
scheme.
scheme. Uh,
So I won't. I was going to point out as a joke that the Goldsboro to Wilmington line is they should call that they should call that service the airliner
mm,
because
I mean,
that is 100% an airline. The old sense of the word, just flat,
just
straight
go.
line.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just go.
basically from Rocky Point, heyo, to from Rocky Point to um where is this curve? From Rocky Point to Fallon, it's like dead straight.
I'm looking at this. I'm trying to
It's
figure out.
really dead straight.
So they want. I'm not familiar with enough of the locations in, uh, you know, in North Carolina, but they talk about Salisbury to Asheville as being one of the things that they want to push for, which is just you just go west basically. It would meet
Oh, I see Salisbury.
yeah, it would meet existing Amtrak services in Salisbury and then just head west. Uh, I
Well,
guess as
Asheville is quite a large city in
Actually,
the
yeah, well,
Carolinas.
that's if I was gonna put my my not TJ needing a train hat on and put on the like forming a forming a railroad feasible railroad system hat, Wilmington is definitely the city to go to because it is I'm pretty sure it's like I'm pretty sure Charlotte and Wilmington are both growing very rapidly. Um,
And now
Wilmington is like Wilmington is I know is like a arts like film hub in North Carolina, which is
oh, that's
interesting.
neat.
And then Asheville is like a music hub kind of for like North Carolina. It's very interesting. And they're
now see
very different. Asheville is like mountains and Appalachia, and then the coast where my parents live is like suburban hell.
so the thing I was thinking of for some reason just popped into my head is I noticed they have this little offshoot that goes to Winston Salem. I think that says.
Hmm.
I think Amtrak goes there currently.
Well, it doesn't show a blue line
Oh,
there,
it's not
No.
blue.
but I was thinking to myself, well, why do they have that little? I mean, they want to serve that community, Winston Salem, but down below it is Salisbury, and I don't really know the scale on this map. That might be a little bit longer than I expect. But why would they, instead of, or it might be looking at usable right of way instead of building new track? Because my mind would default to is to go out of Winston Salem and then connect down to Statesville instead of leaving Winston Salem a dead end
Yeah.
effectively and then coming out at Salisbury. That seems that seems weird to me. How it might be that they're looking more at like you said, TJ, with the Wilmington's thing, is that there's usable right of way pretty much all the way there, but it's partly abandoned or whatever. The
Well, that's
terrain
yeah,
might.
that that would make I mean, like I said, the line from Goldsboro to New Bern and Morehead City is also active.
Yeah.
But it would make sense to me that it would probably be easier to acquire a line that's mostly abandoned or partly abandoned than it would be to negotiate with
Build.
NS.
Mm.
Because I'm pretty sure that NS runs part of the line that I'm thinking of, and then also a short line. Um, and so there's probably more customers that they have to deal with.
What's interesting is like clearly yeah, I mean maybe that's their angle. Maybe that is the smart thing to do because they seem to be dodging lines that are active. The run to Wilmington is over a lot between Goldsboro and Wilmington. There's a large portion that's inactive or pulled up. The S line between like once you get north of Norlena, I think it's pulled up. Um, or actually, it doesn't even make it quite to Norlena. Uh, and
But the right of way is still there.
the right of way is theoretically still there. It's marked as abandoned. I don't know how easy or difficult it would be to relay over that. And then
I mean, like
if you go,
sorry, go ahead.
no, if you go, like the line to Winston Salem is intact. And there is a section that was no that is still present but inactive. If you were to go south from Winston Salem towards Statesville, like you suggested, Kaiserin. But as you go west from Statesville towards Asheville, it's interesting. I threw a screenshot in the public thread. There's a section where it is marked as disused, at least on the open railway map, because it just like winds up a hill in a really crazy way.
This is a crazy area.
Yeah.
Also, it's right next to Boggs Bunyan.
Boggs Bunyan.
Yeah, I live in Boggs Bunyan.
That's Boggs Bunyan is a mountain. It's next to Rattlesnake Mountain, Rocky Head, Thunder Knob, Walker's Knob, Big Slatty. Anyway,
Boggs Bunyan looks beautiful.
Now I didn't notice Boggs Bunyan. I saw Rattlesnake Mountain and I saw the rest of them. I didn't see Boggs Bunyan right there.
Boggs Bunyan looks kind of fire. Look at that.
Listen, it's not polite to stare at Boggs Bunyan, okay?
Boggs Bunyan is flaring up.
Speaking of like used right of way with new trains, I mean, it just kind of popped into my head while we were talking about it. Is that there's a disused railroad that runs from Montgomery, Alabama to Mobile, Alabama, that would make a wonderful, wonderful train, or passenger train. It's pretty much a straight line. The problem is that you got to cross the meridian in Big Beach, which is now CPKC. And that line that I'm thinking of is the old Alabama, Tennessee, and Northern. Because I've walked sections of that like on foot, and the right of way is still there. It's like they took up the track. Some places they didn't even take the ties up, and just left the right of way.
Well, the ties aren't worth anything. The rail you can scrap.
Now, and even further out, I've seen entire bridges that they left, that they just pried the rails off the bridges and left the bridges.
It's tough to repurpose a bridge. I mean, we're kind of
burn it down to get all the nails out.
Yeah. Or just use a really big magnet, like a comically sized magnet. You hold it next to the bridge, and all the nails come out.
And then it falls apart. Yeah. It stays together for like a day or two, and then it just.
This is this is some like supervillain plots. I'm gonna walk around with a super magnet. Yeah.
Go around with a magnet and pull out the nails out of people's houses.
I mean,
that's Dr. Doofenshmirtz stuff right there.
I've tried to go magnet fishing before. It's very, very difficult.
Where were you going magnet fishing?
I have gone magnet fishing at the site of the old Whitefield Iron Bridge.
Oh, we're back to WWF
Railway. Yeah. And I single-handedly got the magnet stuck 1 or 2 times.
Oh.
There is photographic evidence of one of our friends, I will not name them for their privacy, stripping down to their tighty whities and going into the river.
Going in for the magnet. Oh boy. I did want to say to wrap up the discussion on this, and if you have an opinion on the North Carolina plans, feel free to drop us a comment, or you can join us right now at theironhorseman.com/discord, or there's a link in the description. But this is mostly about the line out to Asheville. which would be interesting. But the Richmond stations, just to answer the question, yeah, the only trains that go to the downtown Richmond station are the ones heading towards Newport News. Everything else goes around downtown. It doesn't go through that station, even though in theory you could. I think that station has a bit of capacity constraints, like it's in a difficult spot. Um, but anyway, that's North Carolina. Um, has any item of news piqued the interest of either of you over the course of the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, the California skunk train eminent domain story
Oh
is kind of
God,
interesting.
this is. I have mixed feelings on this. It's just like, oh, we do live in a very litigious country, don't we? Everyone just runs straight to
Oh,
the lawyers.
Ellis, you forgot a thing for the mantle. It's a short line. I don't know if it counts, or not even a short. I don't even know if it counts. The Long Island Railroad train that hit a car.
Oh, when was that?
That was.
Oh, was that
I
right
might be
after
looking.
right after the last thing, or is that a link that you just found? Oh no,
Well,
you're
no,
right.
I
No, I
saw.
found. I see it. I see it. You're absolutely right. A Long Island train, Long Island Railroad
You want
train
to file
hit a. Oh
free?
God, I don't need the.
Hit.
That was weird. The video said it was muted and it was not. Um, Thank you for the TurboTax advertisement.
You
Long
know, they
Island
do.
Railroad struck
They
a
have
vehicle.
offices opening in your area.
Yeah, thanks. This is going to be the first year that I have to file as a couple, so I've been putting it off.
So you should head over. You should head over there.
No, uh,
Don't
three
you want to?
passengers in the
Don't you
train
love
reported injuries.
TurboTax, the best website ever? Now a person
Yeah, that's
who you can yell at.
weird. Um, it doesn't say. Yeah, there were no fatalities. For this, but there was a fire. Oh, we didn't do best wreck anyway, as I kind of ended on a downer. But yeah, I will throw this in to the mantle as well, so that everyone can see this incident. This was on February 2nd, is when this
And then
happened.
it's then just below that. There's a Canadian national derailment in Ontario, or
Where?
not in Manitoba. I mean,
Oh, this
This
the
oh
this
no,
one
it
was an
says it
article
was
about
in
something that
June
happened
20.
previously.
Oh, and it was just an update.
Yeah, it was
I
just
see
an
that
update.
now.
So tell us about the skunk train,
Yes, the skunk train.
TJ. Pepe Le Pew.
Yes. Um. So the skunk train for me has been the reason why I actually like my ears perked up when I heard this story was because a video series that we have been kind of talking about recently, America's Historic Steam Railroads, has a great video on the skunk train. And I remember watching that video millions of times. They have footage where they like collect mail at different stops along the line, and like there's a Boy Scout camp that they pass through and drop off goods to it. They throw like freight out of the baggage car at them,
At them.
or to them, I guess.
Catch this.
Um, yeah, it's just like a sack of goods. It's like, here you go. Uh, and it was always burned into my head as just like this cool tourist line, and I really don't know much too much beyond that about it. But the story in question is that apparently a California appeals court has reversed the decision of a lower court and has granted the Skunk Train Tourist Railroad, the right of eminent domain.
Which is, you don't see a tourist railroad getting to use eminent domain very often. And it made me go, it made me, like, perk up, like, hold on, they're doing what? Uh,
Yeah, so
and why?
apparently under California law, public utility has the ability to condemn private property for public purposes, providing that it pays the owner quote unquote just compensation for the land.
Yeah, that's how
To be
eminent
deemed
domain works in general.
Yeah, usually, but to be deemed a public utility, railroad must be willing to actually serve the general public, not just a private or closed group. And the property must be condemned for public purposes. Or
So
the
it's
property
all
to
that
be condemned must be for public purposes.
so it's all that cool stuff that you're talking about, like the delivering the freight and things like that, that has put them over it put them over the bar to be able to leverage eminent domain, because if they were just a tourist train, they wouldn't be able to, and that's what the previous court had ruled. They said, no,
Well, apparently
you're
it
you know,
says, yeah, I mean, it says that they operate a commuter service and haul freight.
yeah. What's
Uh,
what's
in the
interesting
Hey,
is
do
their
you know?
line is not whole.
Do you
Yeah.
know what this means?
What?
Do you know what this means? You two need to start carrying like DoorDash orders or something on the WWF so you can get eminent domain to extend the line.
Well,
I mean, we own most of the right of way.
there is that. That's the fascinating thing about Maine's weird abandonment laws, that the original company still exists and owns like more than half of the original right of way still. It's just not all contiguous. But we do have a revenue customer at the WWF.
We do.
Yeah, we have Maine Locomotive and Machine.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
currently making the
Um,
boilers for the new Mount Washington cog engines. Or
uh,
replacement boilers for
So
the Mount
you
Washington cog
technically
engines.
do carry freight. So
Yeah,
you could, of
yeah.
course, Maine, like you said, Maine's weird abandonment laws.
yeah,
So, it says, uh, the original ruling sided with the landowner because the tourist operations were dominant over any commuter freight services, and also it was because they felt the plans were not in the public interest. It was indicated that the land was going to be used for campsites and RV parking.
mm,
Uh, in the Court of Appeals, they reversed the decision. Says that even though the skunk train offers private excursions, which account for 90% of its revenue, the fact that it does have some commuter and freight service is enough for it to be declared a public utility. They also cited testimony by the CEO that the plan has been abandoned for RV parking, and it stated that the land acquisition would allow the railway to fully operate its freight rail services with storage yards, maintenance and repair shops, transload facilities, rail car storage capacity, and a passenger depot.
yeah. It doesn't say exactly
Um,
where this is going to be, but I'm going to guess that this site is on the south side of their tunnel. Because they have their tunnel, which is close to Fort Bragg. It's actually only a few miles outside of Fort Bragg. That collapsed in 2015. And since then, they've had no way to get across their entire railroad, but they've been operating from both ends. Um, so if they're going to put some sort of station and storage facility, et cetera, on this site, assuming it is at the end of their accessible right of way from the east, a couple of miles outside of Fort Bragg, that would make a lot of sense for them. It would mean that they could board and alight people to take them all the way to the other end of the railroad, uh, which right now they can't really do because they have no facilities out, there. Um, but really, they should be fixing their tunnel. I mean, they have been trying to repair that tunnel for many years. They did a giant hill stabilization project back right before COVID, and then the city of Fort Bragg and the Coastal Commission filed a lawsuit against the railroad, partially because of a different eminent domain situation. Really, what's crazy is I've never ever heard of a tourist railroad using eminent domain, and apparently the skunk train has done it twice, or at least tried to do it twice in the last 7 years. Um, which is like, have they considered just talking to people and paying them money? Uh, it just seems like they're really hitting the nuclear option as often as they can.
Ignore that.
Okay.
I accidentally
Okay.
turned my camera on.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the most vocal people who are against it says, quote, has no function as a railroad here. The train backs up because it can't turn around because there's nowhere to turn around, and it can't go forward because the tunnel collapsed. They do this 4 to 5 times a day. They block Highway 1, they block all the streets, they blare their horns as loud as they can, and that's kind of what they do. That's their whole function. They
Literally
transport nothing.
describing a railroad.
They transport nothing other than tourists who pay large amounts of money to ride 3.5 miles out of town, stop at a little pavilion where they party, and then get back on the train.
Well, maybe we should be promoting them fixing their tunnel so that they can go back to doing the cool things they're doing. Which, again,
Yeah.
I assume they're doing out of their eastern end because that is where all of their railroad is, and that's where like the Boy Scout camp is in the middle, and the RV resort and the other stuff are like are way out there. They're out there to the east of Fort Bragg. Fort Bragg
And so
only has this little stub of a railroad to work with.
Yeah. So the CEO states that the commuter service and freight operations do exist. Cited loads of various materials hauled for landowners on the route's eastern end, and a bridge that was transported to a private property. Quote, the bridge came via truck from Texas and was transloaded from truck to rail, the very definition of interstate commerce. Repairs
Oh,
to the
wow.
collapsed tunnel have been stopped by litigation. Yeah, and the CEO says that without this blockade, trains would be running through today. But who knows?
Milky says it's mostly on the east end. Milky, if you have information, if you want to chime in, you can put your hand up. I'll let you in. I'd also love to talk about something that we didn't get to talk about um, in the previous episode, which was the Yakima trolley situation, which they get their extension. I think we did touch on it, but yeah, no, this is very the objections against the skunk train are so like frustrated NIMBY coded. Yeah, they drive around 3 or 4 5 times a day, carrying all these tourists that have come into town to ride the train and are spending money in the local establishments.
They're like the only reason why you have tourism in Willits. Hot take.
In Willits,
Because-
I was thinking this was Fort Bragg residents.
Okay, well, crap. Now you got me thinking what end of the railroad it is.
No, they're definitely complaining about the Fort Bragg end because that's where the eminent domain suit is, and that's where Highway 1 is.
Okay, I see. Okay.
The east end of the railroad is like there's a lot of railroad out there, and that's where they're doing all the fun stuff. The
Yeah.
west end is where they're doing 3.5 mile tourist runs because they can't do anything else because there's no tunnel.
Yeah.
But
It's funny because I remember that tunnel from the video before it had collapsed.
you know what's funny, TJ? You mentioned the America's Historic Steam Railroads video on the skunk train. I think that's literally my only point of reference for the skunk train. That's the only reason I know about it.
Yeah, admittedly, my points of reference are that and our videos on it, and going next to it in 2022.
Oh, so you visited it. You've got something up on the rest of us.
Like I've been to Willits, and I have seen the Skunk Train Depot. I did not ride the Skunk Train; they weren't running that day.
I like the color of their trains.
Yeah, their trains are.
I like a wine-colored steam locomotive, if I do say so myself.
This is the real California wine train.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to talk about next, if we can, if there's not something else in the way, the Dovetails Thomas the Tank Engine game.
Oh,
I kind of had a
yeah.
feeling we were going to have to talk about that because that has been significant news, honestly.
People will not shut up about that.
Yeah.
I have a
That,
hot
but
take,
but
man.
like in a good way.
yeah.
People will not stop talking about that.
So, yeah, Kaiser, and I'm a little bit out of the loop on this because I've never been a big Thomas person, nor have I been a big Dovetail Games person.
Not after what I saw on the Providence to Boston route.
No,
So
my,
lead the way.
I don't know much about it either, but I know that everybody in every server I'm in that's got Thomas the Tank Engine people in it won't shut up about it. But I
Hey, I
understand.
thought we were supposed to say it the nice way.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
tried to
goodness.
steer us in the positive direction, but
Well, no, what I'm saying is my hot take is that it will be like every other Dovetail game. It will be hot for about a year, and then everybody will forget about it after they try and make a remake of it every year.
Yeah.
we need
You know,
the
let's
Wonders of
see.
Sodar 2027 and 2028,
Yeah,
and
Train Sim World, Train Simulator. You know, like every game that Dovetail has made has this iterative thing, and they barely add anything. It's just basically adding a year and more paid DLC that's not very good.
Yeah.
Uh,
I can't wait to
but
spend $69 to get James.
nice.
yeah, but like people, there is a reason that Trains has a monopoly on Thomas stuff
That is true.
because it's just easier to modify Trains than it is to modify any Dovetail game.
Well, I think people are not wanting the island of Sodar so they can mess with it. They're definitely
Well, no,
wanting it
that's
so they
not
can mess
fair.
around on it.
I was gonna say, I think people are just excited that there's finally an official Thomas train game.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, but
I would love to hear
you
from
have
somebody
to
who
pay
like
for the characters in DLC.
well yeah,
That's
I'm sure the
Dovetail.
licensing is an arm and a leg.
Meanwhile, you have people over on Trains. Well, yeah, the model ain't too good. It's from 2012, but they make, they make a whole pack, and they've got all of them in there, and you can download it for free.
And you
can't-
can make their faces move and everything.
I can't
It's
wait. I mean,
Yeah.
in the trailer, the faces are moving. I was about to say, I can't wait to see Thomas like staring into my
Yeah.
soul on the thing. How is it Dovetail is like the EA of train games? You know, or the EA Sports of train games?
I was gonna say, when are they
Uh,
gonna add like a 2027 season where it's like
Yeah,
just
right.
content, just like a battle pass type deal?
It's like
the Thomas and Friends Battle
I know
Pass.
the exact reason, Ellis. I know the exact reason is that Dovetail is a decently large company
Yeah, they
in
need to keep the money.
comparison to Arin or whatever, whoever makes trains these days.
Mm-hmm.
They like Arin is practically like three guys in a shed.
I was about to say that 3 men in a shed.
Yeah, and
Like,
3V.
oh yeah,
Oh,
N3D is it now.
Ah, that's why it's called that.
it's yeah. I don't know how
It's
to turn
three.
that into an acronym.
Hey, it's
I was trying
it's
to.
three
I've been,
guys.
the
It's
cogs have
three
been turning in
guys
my head.
named. It's three guys. All of them are named Nate. They're in a shed and they're making video games.
Yeah, yeah. Nate 3 video games.
Yeah.
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 No, but
And
what
they've
I'm
been
what I'm
making.
interested in with this what I'm interested in with this Thomas and Friends game is going back and looking at all the TNF stuff over the years and comparing like the track arrangements and things and seeing what was possible on this quote unquote official full map of the island of Sodor and what would have been physically impossible. You know,
Yeah.
The what's it called? The cog railway.
mm,
That never works out in any digital train game I've ever seen. Nobody has ever pulled off a convincing cog railway.
I was
You might
trying.
think otherwise.
I tried.
I tried.
We've tried, but nobody has ever pulled it off, and I doubt they can either.
Well,
But
that's going to be interesting. Just again,
the
just
thing that's making a
That
lot
sounds
of
like
people,
a challenge.
the
Yeah.
thing that's making a lot of the Thomas fandom or whatever you want to call them angry about this game is it has done the thing where they've combined every series into one map.
Right.
Oh.
So Vickerstown in this game looks like CGI Vickerstown, but Tidmouth is Railway Series Tidmouth.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
So
No, this is good.
Yeah.
I
it
like
is
that.
kind of funny, and I will say that I do I'm not very big in the Thomas community, but I will say that I do prefer CGI Vickerstown over,
Yeah.
model series Vickerstown, but not over railway series Vickerstown. But anyway, that's a different thing. But what it is they're trying to combine elements from all three quote unquote canons, yes, you call it, the railway series, the model series, and the CGI series. None of them are the same. They all have contradicting details. They all, even in the same location, like in the railway series, uh, for instance, Tidmouth is not the end of the line. Knapford is the end of the line. But somebody got it mixed up in the model series, so now Tidmouth is the end of the line.
I can't wait to see, like, but that's why I'm fascinated by this project, because it's sort of like, and I think I talked about this very briefly on Under Construction. It's sort of like the people who try to figure out what the inside of the Starship Enterprise looks like. You know, where are all the rooms that they show in the entirety of the original series, or
Well,
whatever? How does everything fit together? And the answer is it doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is it doesn't? Isn't there only like one bathroom on the entire Enterprise?
I don't know. It's
Because that was one of the memes I had heard from a while ago. Is there's only like one bathroom on the entire Starship Enterprise?
You never see anyone go to the bathroom in Star Trek. You never see anyone,
Well,
like,
yeah,
even not like watch them go to the bathroom, but like you never
See, this
see
is
someone be
why
like, all right, no, I gotta hit the, I gotta take a piss. I'll be
Yeah,
right back.
Vickerstown,
Sorry,
yeah.
Captain.
this is why we need uh like low budget,
Well-
like vlog style in universe episodes of
Yes.
Star
well,
Trek.
do you ever wonder where they get the matter for the replicator?
Oh no, I don't wonder, and I don't think about it, and that's on purpose.
Because matter cannot be created nor destroyed.
It's
It has
it's
to come from
recycled.
somewhere.
But that's why I'm fascinated about this map of Sodor, because they're gonna have to figure out, because they've spent all this time figuring out how to fit everything together, and it's going to be wrong, like, from every frame of reference, but we can just hope for it to be kind of equally wrong from every frame of reference.
It needs to be like the Lord of the Rings movies, because pretty much this is a weird comparison to make, but it needs to be like the Lord of the Rings movies, because the Lord of the Rings movies, I'm talking about the first three
Uh-oh.
made by Peter Jackson.
Uh-oh.
They feel like Tolkien wrote them. They feel like Tolkien wrote them, but they leave out half of what Tolkien actually wrote. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it feels Tolkien, but it isn't Tolkien. That's what they need to hit with this map that they're making, is they need to hit that fine line of, it's not canon, technically speaking, but it feels canon. It needs to feel like it's going to be wrong and there's going to be things missing in it, but it needs to hit that feeling of equality of things that are missing and things that are correct.
Yeah.
But in reality, they're probably not going to. They're not going to hit that level because it's Dovetail.
He's really got something to say. I think you pissed off.
I know.
Lafayette.
I have my microphone on the stream muted so you guys can hear it, but the audience can't unless I'm directly
Okay.
talking. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Lafayette is popping off right now.
He
I
has
said
opinions on
Tolkien.
the Thomas game.
I said Tolkien, and he started barking.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it turns out
Wait,
Lafayette hates Lord of the Rings. I don't really
Yeah.
have an explanation for it. He just does. I want to see if there's another good piece of news that we can touch on before we wrap up. Well, I mean, we don't need to rush to wrap up, but what is this? What is what is this? Pendoral Valley. This is a
Pandora
Pacific
Valley?
Northwest thing.
Oh, yeah, it's Pacific.
The port of Pendoral in Washington, or Oriel, Pendoriel, in Washington State, $1 million grant in an effort to revive an excursion service.
The restoration and running on the main line, question mark.
It is.
What excursion service are they reviving? I'm curious.
I don't know. This is. It seems like this is an existing. Oh no. I was about to say it seems like it's an existing freight service, but it says
I
it
know.
lacks any
I
freight
know what it
business.
is.
Oh, do
I
you?
know what it is. Yes. So a long time ago, the Lions Club out in Penorbille, ran excursion trains over there, over a railroad out there that, they are freight carriers still, but they don't operate on that section of track.
Mm-hmm. It's
But they
former
operate
Milwaukee
that
Road.
train. Yeah, it's the former Milwaukee Road. But they used to operate excursions on it, and notably, if you've ever been on Ozark Mountain and saw those boxcar, like open air cars
Oh no.
that the bus seats, those
Uh-oh.
were here.
Oh.
Those ran on this. So they ran with two of those, I think an open air gondola with a porta potty and a coach,
Okay.
which is just a 5.5.
Okay.
But yeah,
Porta
so
potty.
I guess what they've done here, it's when you don't have a bathroom on your train.
That's
It's
very
better than not
chaotic.
having one.
No, I mean that's true. I mean
Yeah.
it's slightly better than cutting a hole in the floor.
The Albany and Eastern has that on their open air cars. And I think in their baggage car as well. I could be wrong.
Hey, it's more what is the word I'm looking for? It's more sophisticated than the British who still flush onto the track.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're in scum class and they have installed
Scum
bathrooms there.
class.
Yeah.
They got $1 million grant to do 5 miles of track, which is incredibly economical.
Which is kind of wild.
That's not a lot of money, honestly.
That's not a lot of money. For 5 miles of track, it must be like a really awful 5 miles of. Oh wait, they run through some rugged territory, kind of. Because I believe they run through like a river canyon-y kind of area.
The point is, I hope
one of those sections that maybe the.
I hope they know how much they're needing to spend, because $1 million is not going to go very far if they encounter like one washout.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with the topic as someone that's looked into washout repairs for various reasons.
So,
they aren't cheap.
No.
Especially if you don't want to wash out again.
They're not cheap just like in a general materials and labor sense, but then you've got to do, sometimes you got to do like an environmental impact study depending on the situation in the immediate vicinity.
That,
and then you're paying schmucks like me to write a memo for you. But
or you replace an entire culvert if your entire culvert washed out, like some Oregon Railroad had happen. Not gonna name names, Ramsey Valley Railway, but
hey, speaking
they
of
had
Oregon,
an entire culvert that washed out.
Speaking of Oregon railways, is Siskiyou done? Like, are there any trains going over Siskiyou anymore?
No, not anymore.
That's a bummer. That's a very cool place.
Yeah, with the closing of the Weed Lumber Company, that was basically the only customer on that line. Not entirely. Just south of Williamsburg is what they've shuttered out to be because of that. Because they weren't getting much interchange with the UP at Blackview, because UP is their interchange at both ends, except for the P&W, which gets them an interchange with BNSF, effectively.
So
but they really don't use it that much.
where it cuts off, is that south of Medford or is it north of Medford?
I'd have to double check the map.
Sorry, what did you say the town was that they stopped going past to the south?
Okay.
Hey,
so-
Ellis,
Yep.
can I
Oh,
Empire Builder
Al-
in?
Hold
I
on.
think Ashland is the first out that they're going now.
Oh, that's a bummer
Um,
because the cool like windy bit is just south of Ashland. Sad.
Yes.
Sorry, that was my distraction. I just for whatever
Okay.
reason it came to mind. Apparently, trains in the UK are now prohibited from dumping waste on the tracks. So
Oh,
that is
okay.
no longer
That's
no
good.
longer a practice in the UK.
So crash has improved.
But
Okay, good.
speaking of the British,
Uh
they're holding speed dating events in Leeds.
oh.
Whoa,
Where's the
okay.
article for that? That's funny.
I posted it in the public thread, but the original article was posted in the foam pit.
Oh
This is fun. This needs to be talked about. We need to laugh at these people.
no! Don't
Oh,
laugh
I
at these
see it.
people. They're just foamers who want to
No,
date.
no.
No,
Yeah.
that's not. I'm talking about the fact that the company set it up, not that people speed dated.
Well, Northern Wales is based. They're very progressive.
To
They
no!
want people to
Hold on.
use the.
I
How
have
many
no.
sleeping car drinks do they have?
I have no qualms with speed dating or speed dating events. However, the thing that is funny here, the thing that I think is worth laughing at, is they set up a speed dating event to celebrate their speedier service.
Goodness.
You know, any reason to have a celebration, right?
What the hell? Why not? Win in leagues, I guess.
So, and also what I can't read this article because it's a Trainsmatic article. What is the company that's running this? It just says British Rail Company for me.
This is
Okay.
Northern Rail.
Okay. Oh, you know what?
And
If
should
I bet you if
I
I open
let
this in
Empire
incognito.
Builder in?
What's going on? Do we have a hand up in the audience? Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Please let them in. Never mind. I got it. Ryan, what's on your platform?
Hi everyone.
Hello, long-time listener, first-time caller, right?
Sure. All right. So I don't know if this has been brought up, but I come bearing a piece of news.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Correct me if this has been brought up, but Metro North to Albany has been killed.
Yeah, we talked about that last episode before the Super Bowl.
Nuts.
And yeah, and rest in peace. That I talked about how cool it was going to be and how they should do it anyway.
Yes, hold on. Then I come bearing a second piece of backup news.
Okay, go ahead.
That is awesome and equal and fun, and I am definitely
Give him time. He's looking for it. He's trying to figure out what his backup news is.
No, I have it. My backup news is very real and very tangible. You just Rapido announcements. That's my backup news.
Okay, what is Rapido announcing?
Okay, so this was from the Big E.
The E.
But so, my piece of backup news: Rapido is doing the U-30s. Yeah, they're doing the weird Santa Fe cowled U-boats that they had.
Yep.
Yay.
They're doing those. They're doing the U-33 and U-36. But I don't know. They're doing some pretty cool road things.
The H's as well.
Yes, they are.
Deep cut, but it's a very nice deep cut.
Yes.
I'm not one for GE, but they're nice GEs.
Here, I'll put my news. You just literally go to the Rapido Trains website and it should be there. It's
Yeah,
great.
Rapido has been banging out
Oh.
great announcements this year.
Oh my god.
And should we also talk about how TVRM got robbed?
We should probably touch on that. Check if they have like a donation link or something in response to this. But not that TVRM is necessarily hurting for money, but yeah. I do want to touch on that, but I want to come back to the speed dating event because I opened it in an incognito window, and I can now read the article. And no, I'm sorry, I've got to go back to against my initial response. This is hilarious. I just want to phrase it differently. I'm not laughing at the people who are doing the speed dating event.
It's just the company.
I'm laughing at the fact that the goal here was to match singles from the two endpoints of the service.
Oh, what the?
That's
I didn't even read
awesome.
that bit.
Wait, so you're forcing them to be like, oh, you want to go on a date? Yeah, let's travel to each other.
Yeah, well, in
Oh,
fairness,
come on, that's genius though.
it's 35 miles from Leeds to Sheffield in 47 minutes. And those who were matched at the event received a free travel pass to encourage further connection.
Aw.
Okay. Okay. That, to be fair, that is like the kind of marketing gold that you can't just find in any old mine. That is like specially refined. That is like Monty Burns genius kind of awesome.
This is hilarious, but it is genius. It's, how do we get people to ride the trains? Well, what if we start matchmaking?
That is awesome. That's like a 10 out of that. That gives like a solid 9.5 out of 10 in terms of ideas from me.
Yeah,
That's
it's a great one.
Ryan, if you have a link to the Rapido announcements, if you can throw it in the public thread, I will add it to the document.
Yeah, here. Literally, hold on. Oh, wait. Latest announcement. Hold on. Can I? Hold on. Wait. Newsletters. It's probably in the newsletter.
Okay.
No, it is not. Hold
Okay.
on. Wait. Here.
While you look for that, I will go to
Here.
Kaizen for a minute and ask. So what's
But-
up with the TVRM?
Yeah, they got
Where's the
robbed.
public thread?
They did get robbed.
I've got a link from a news channel because the thing how I found out about it is through the Terminus channel, but the Terminus channel posting for it is not actually a link. It is a bunch of screenshots of the Facebook post.
Yeah, that's not helpful. Don't do that. I didn't want to delete it because
somebody else.
no, I'm saying that in general. If you're posting in Terminus News, please send a link so that I can include it in the podcast. Even if it's just a link to the Facebook post, it is much more useful to me than a bunch of screenshots.
There's the picture, or the link there, but the other thing I noticed while I was looking for it is I found a very old train orders forum post from 2001 or 2006, I'm not sure, in which somebody stole the builder's plates off of 4501 at TVRM. That was also in the search results.
Oh, TVRM apparently is a magnet for criminal activity. That's not what you want to hear. But yeah,
we're gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, somebody broke into the Grand Junction Depot at the TVRM at night on February 3rd, and they took donations. I guess. Quote, the person that broke in seemed to not be in any rush, took their time going through things, trying to see what drawers were open, grabbed a bag, did a little shopping, then broke into the donation boxes. And took all the money out of the donation boxes. Although, I will say, I feel like after you've closed up shop at 8 o'clock, you shouldn't leave money in the donation boxes. Maybe that's not an unusual practice. Maybe I am, I don't want to be victim blaming per se.
Kind of is.
But I feel like you should, like, if you're running a place like this, maybe your treasurer isn't on site every day, and I can understand that. I know places where there's a donation jar and it gets emptied every once in a while. But it definitely is prudent, especially if you are a major railroad museum with a lot of foot traffic, and I assume paid employees that are trained in handling cash, that you take the cash out of your donation boxes and things and lock it up. I mean, leaving cash in a register is one thing, but it's unfortunate, and obviously it's not their fault. It's the fault of the person who broke in and robbed them. But I hope there wasn't much in those boxes. Basically, I would hope there is never that much. But yeah, you can donate to them. Anyone with information, there's a phone number provided in this article if you happen to have information. If you know the person who did this, you can call them and leave a tip. Yeah. Like, call Conrail. No, so they did release photos and videos of the incident, it's a real shame.
Offering a $200 cash reward, apparently.
Oh. I also want to touch on this note from the audience. We had an article about a GO train derailment. I believe we talked about it briefly on the last episode, but we got an update to it. And I can't find the article right now, but thankfully this person has covered the important points here in the comments of the podcast. Missing screws holding track fasteners led to derailment, which disrupted GO transit operations for a week. Wow. At Toronto Union Station. Plates holding lag screws in place, which were supposed to be held by 4 screws, had only 2. As a result, 9 of the lag screws gave way, allowing the track to shift by slightly over an inch. So...
that's no good.
No, that's no good. You should always check to make sure that your track is properly secured, I suppose. Honestly, though, it doesn't sound like somebody trying to derail a train. It sounds like, oh, we didn't quite have enough screws, so, space them out a little bit. And we did have an article on this somewhere. Oh yeah, there we go. I found it. I'm gonna drop this in. 1-inch track shift caused derailment. Certainly not the worst thing that's been happening, because if we want to talk about sabotage, there are apparently a series of incidents going on in Italy right now during the Olympics, which have been attributed to sabotage, which is...
That's
I
no
heard
good.
about that. That was crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. Who'd be hating the Olympics?
Well, a lot of people. It's not. The issue is I mean, I'm sure y'all know, but like, hosting the Olympics is considered like a huge financial burden on the host cities, because more often than not, they do not see the returns on their investment, like, at all.
No, and it leaves behind these huge Olympic complexes which end up abandoned.
Well, I mean, yeah, unless you're able to like repurpose them, which to my understanding, I know a thing or two about this, because when I was in my senior year of high school, I had to pitch Cleveland for the Olympics.
Oh God, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
So like, you have to be really strategic about how they do it. But yeah, so like, I don't know. The fact is that Europe tends to have a history of hating big events like this. When they were doing the opening for Euro Disneyland, apparently like a series of bombs went off on SNCF, like the French rail system.
Well, I think that just has to do partly with the general European sentiment of hating foreigners, too, because those big events bring in a lot of people who aren't from that country, and they don't like that. I mean, that's like, for instance, that's one of the big reasons that Brexit happened, because they didn't want immigrants.
Yeah.
That the EU was forcing them to take, so they left. So, I mean, look at where they are now. They're a third-rate empire. or they're a third-rate country who thinks they still have an empire.
Well,
Yeah,
remember,
it worked out for them great.
It's well, you have to understand the British Empire. It's for sale, gently used.
For sale, heavily used.
But to touch on this a little bit, police said a track switch was set alight near Pesaro on the Adriatic coast. Several hours later, police discovered severed electrical cables near Bologna. Along with a rudimentary explosive device left by a track nearby. So it's kind of wild. It's just no one has claimed responsibility for them, so it's not like an act of terrorism, right? Because it's not somebody saying we are going to mess the place up. We are going to commit sabotage against the rail system for XYZ reason, and after it happens, nobody's like, yeah, that was us. Like, there's no organization taking credit for this. It's just discontent. But yeah.
Well, I mean, probably. I mean, there.
Actually, I might have something to corroborate this.
Go on. Was it? Do you know? Do you know the person who did it?
No, but Nenpiao Coal Railway, Liang Province.
Oh, go on.
What?
No, nothing. I just really wanted to say Nanpiao Coal Railway. Anyways, continue.
Okay. What the heck? All right.
Well,
all right. Thank you very much.
The Olympic thing and why and the cities taking a big hit from the Olympics is usually why you only see big cities hosting the Olympics.
Yeah, like Cleveland.
Oh yeah.
Why it's always Berlin or Paris or, like these big cities, because they can take the hit. Small cities can't. And it's why you almost never see the Olympics hosted in countries like Greece, because they're perpetually broke. And that's not me hating on Greek people.
No,
That's me
no.
pointing out, historically speaking, Greece has always been broke.
Greece is a lovely place. I mean, Greece is a beautiful place. Greek people are cool. Greek food is fantastic. They are always broke. Italy really is not much better.
I was gonna we have to remember the Mediterranean is the old war. It ran out. Was it the old world? It ran out of money real quick.
For sale, heavily used.
Yeah.
No, so they do call out in this article that it is reminiscent of what happened when Paris hosted the Olympics. And I closed out the article like a doofus. Where'd it go? I was looking at stuff. No, I wanted to ask about Cleveland. Because if this is our last,
you did?
if this is our last piece of news, which it probably is, because we're about wrapped up here. When cities host the Olympics, the slate of games doesn't, like, it changes event to event, but it doesn't change with respect to the city. I think it should, because what would you come up with for Cleveland? And how would you incorporate the Cuyahoga River on fire?
Honestly, no, I just what you do is, there's a lot you can do. I think one, run through the steel mills, try not to get asbestos poisoning.
Yeah, or burned.
I think that's a smart one. I think you just host the rowing events right on the river while it's burning. I think adds some more character to it.
That's pretty metal. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You call it. Just. You can literally call it dragon boat racing because you're breathing fire. No.
We've circled all the way back around to Greek fire.
And I think third and final event, you need to catch the train carrying jobs out of Cleveland.
All right.
Piece of cake.
All right. I appreciate this.
You run to the train.
How would you do the Winter Olympics in Cleveland? Ski jump, for instance.
I don't know. You bring 4070 back. You bring 4070 back, and you have 4070 tow the skiers. How's that?
Yeah, listen, if the lake is frozen, you have so much room for activities.
True.
Yeah, you do.
That is until somebody decides to drive something out there and they fall through.
Yeah. The event is dodge the ore boat.
Actually, no. Here's an activity: raise the Edmund Fitzgerald. That'll be a lot of fun.
Oh God,
And then
I
you
think
have
I've
the
I think I've read
tour
this Clive
day
Cussler book.
area. Dude,
Okay, all right,
It's like
we
raising
should
the
we should
Titanic,
yeah we
but
should
different.
we should wrap the show up. I hope everyone has gotten their fair share of railroad news in this week. Obviously, we didn't cover everything, but if you have news for us, you can join our Discord using the link in the description or at theironhorseman.com/discord. And you can drop links for us in our Terminus news section. You can join our Discord, join the party, and join here wherever you want if you have a piece of news that you want to talk about. There are changes coming down the pipe to Discord and stage channels. We have yet to see how they will affect us. We may have to adjust how we run the show, but we've got it figured out. We'll get it figured out. I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world. We only just figured how to run this show. We can figure it out again. So with that out of the way, I think that's kind of our maintenance of way. There's no other maintenance of way item that I have off the top of my head. So I did that out of order. Can I have guesses for the latest train on Amtrak, please?
Oh, I'm going. It's got to be one of the Floridians. Has to be one of the Floridians.
Okay, we'll pick one. North or south?
South.
South. Okay, southbound Floridian. Okay, let's take some other guesses. Kaiser and TJ and Milky.
Eastbound Empire Builder.
Eastbound Builder. Okay, so eastbound Builder, southbound Floridian. What about my other two co-hosts here?
Gonna have to say southbound Acela. I'm gonna gamble.
Oh, that is a gamble. Well, I mean, last week you would have. It's not been the worst gamble, honestly. And Milky.
you know what? I'm feeling the Coast Starlight southbound.
Coast Starlight southbound. Let's start with the Coast Starlight then. The Coast Starlight to Los Angeles is 1 hour and 10 minutes late at Portland, Oregon. It is also 1 minute late at San Luis Obispo, California. That is not the latest train on Amtrak. That is one of the later trains on Amtrak, though. That should set the tone. Eastbound Empire Builder to Chicago, 2 minutes late at Wolf Point, Montana. Oh, is that the latest train right there? I think I just stumbled across it. But that is.
I think I did too because it's very close to home.
Yes. Oh wait, no, that's not the one I'm seeing. Maybe we'll see. Floridian southbound. Let's see. Floridian to Miami is 40 minutes late at Petersburg, Virginia, or 25 minutes late at Kissimmee, Florida. Really Valentine's Day out here. What am I missing? Oh, the Acela. The Acela. Let's see. Let's check out some late Acelas. I think the latest one is nope, not that one. I think it's this one, which is a 15-minute late Acela to Washington. 15 minutes late at Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So it's not the Acela.
No. None canceled.
I think I found the latest train on Amtrak.
What do you think it is?
Alice, it's the Ethan Allen Express.
It is almost the Ethan Allen Express. The Ethan Allen to Burlington is 1 hour and 31 minutes late at Albany Rensselaer. But that is only our honorable mention because there is a 1 hour and 50-minute late, 50-minute late, Empire Builder to Seattle, westbound, at Glenview, Illinois. It just left Chicago an hour and 40 minutes late.
Oh, I see him. I see him, yeah.
This is the thing I don't get is how come every time I do this game, it's either it's the other Empire Builder when I pick the Empire Builder, or if somebody else picks the Empire Builder, like somebody says westbound and I say eastbound, or I say eastbound and they say westbound, or whatever. It's the Crescent.
Well, obviously, it's because it's rigged.
And when I pick the Crescent, no matter which direction, it's always the Empire Builder.
The thing is, the Empire Builder isn't even that late. Like an hour and 50 minutes, like it's gonna get worse, obviously, because it's at the beginning of its run. There's no way this doesn't get worse. But for the latest train on Amtrak to be less than 2 hours late, that's really good. Amtrak's having a great day. So
usually the Crescent is 3 hours late getting into Meridian. By the way,
they're
always late.
I always think about long distance trains being par at 3 hours late. If I
Well,
see a
the
long
weird thing
distance
about
train
the Crescent,
earlier, then
though,
it's weird.
the weird thing about the Crescent, though, is they're always late coming back from New Orleans. They're never late getting in from Birmingham
Well, you know why?
because they're going uphill.
Oh, I was gonna say Hangover.
Both,
Uh,
Why not both?
All right, well, that will wrap up this episode of the Terminus podcast. Let me make sure that I close this thing out properly. Thank you to all of you for joining me today. I know we started with a couple of folks and we ended with a decent crowd. The goal is not to just permanently accumulate people for all time, but when it's a quiet show, then that's the way it is. And now I'm getting another phone call. I will call you back.
Oh, come on, you don't like my wit, commentary, and wisdom? How
I do
could
like your
you?
commentary and wisdom. It's just, there's supposed to be a
Yeah.
there's supposed to be a scheme to
Right.
this thing, and it feels like
Yeah.
everyone is like the only person who cares about getting the scheme right is, well, not me, because I really only care half the time. But anyway, thank you all for joining me. And thank you to the audience as well. Make sure to tell your friends about the show and do the stuff like liking and subscribing and joining us, becoming a part of our chaotic little community. We are probably doing a post show after this. We shall see. So stay tuned for that. And of course, the train will terminate at this station.